Hi guys, in this video I will describe some useful tools in Autocad which would be very easy for you to use in your work. The first, let's talk about the basic drawing tools such as like line, polylines, some circles and different splines, and also I will show you how to do a hatch, different kind of hatch. Okay, let's talk. The first on the icon in classical AutoCAD, we can use a line. How to draw the lines? You pick the line. It's ask you the first point, click, and as you see we have a polar system. You can click and you see we don't have a snap. When you click again we see a polar. What is polar what is polar system mean? That it's connected to the horizontal on 90 degree. Okay, how to draw the line? We created the first point and through some distance, like let's say 1000, create the second line. If we don't click escape, we can continue drawing lines. When we click escape, the command is finished. How to repeat the command? Spacebar. It will ask you again. The spacebar works only for the last command. Let's say if we created a polyline and we want to create a line, spacebar works only for the last command. Ctrl Z, it's to back to the previous stuff. Also you can use draw the line from the 0 point. Dashed 0, comma 0, enter, and we're drawing from 0 point. Okay. X line. What does X line mean? When we create X lines, you just need only one point. There is two different X line: horizontal, vertical, and angle X line. To see the difference between them, let's create one of them. Center point. As you see, we have horizontal, vertical, and under angle. To explore more options, right click, horizontal, spacebar, repeat command, vertical, and under angle, let's say 45 degree. We have different X lines. The same you can use, let's say, for different X line. Instead of picking the angle one, just angle 45 degree, and we have 45 degree X lines. To check this, temporary dimensions, it's work only for the lines. Temporary dimensions, 35 degree, 45 degree, one more time, 45 degree, yes, we have 45 degrees. Okay, as we see, we talked about the line, X lines. Let's talk about this spline, polyline, sorry. I forgot to mention there is also a shortcut. For the line, you just type L and you see line. Or you can go through draw, line. Almost the same. Polyline. The interesting stuff about the polyline, it's very useful when you're doing some side plans or for exterior interior walls. Okay, let's start to do some basic floor plan. Specify start point, let's say 280. Some corner 500. Again 2080. Before I continue, I want to mention there is a useful shortcut command F8 for horizontal, like for 90-degree line, and F8, or there is a orthographic, like cursor, the same. F8 5000, because we're working in millimeters. 280, it would be 560. And you see endpoint. To activate snap, F3. More about the snap I will show you in the next video. F3, because our endpoint here, this one. Okay. Escape, finish command. As you see, we have a polyline. To check this, properties, and we have a polyline. Or right click, properties, or there's another way, Ctrl 1. Okay, why we need this polyline? It's very useful when you have exterior or interior walls and you can use offset, which I will show you in the next couple videos. But let's say we have a thickness of the wall 300. Offset, as you see, we have interior walls. Instead of drawing in the same way interior walls, using only exterior walls offset by 300 in different directions, you have outline of your future floor plans. There's another useful command if you need to do some rectangles or hexagons. This one, polygon or polygon, polygon. And the next question is how many sides? Let's say 6. It asks you the center. Let's create somewhere here. The next question is inside or outside of the circle. Let's say inside. As you see, inside. Why it's asking you about inside and outside when you have inside of the circle or the same outside of the circle? Let's repeat the same from the center. Say 6-1 outside of the circle. As you see, would be totally different. sorry. Totally different. Okay. You can do with many sides. Let's say 24. The same center. Let's say inside of the circle. 24 sides. Okay. The same you can find here. Polygon or rectangle. Circles. As I mentioned before, we have some circles. Okay, this point would be our center of the circle. It asks you the center. Okay, here, this one. The next questions, radius or diameter. Right click, diameter. Let's say 500. We can check. 250. Or this, let's repeat the same. Space bar. And this time we click radius. 250. Sorry. 125. And radius. Okay. Then another one, it's a cloud. Why we need a cloud? Let's say you have some floor plans and you want to show some part of the floor plans which you want to which you want to have a problem with. Let's say that the client wants to check this part of floor plans. Point cloud. Okay. You can make in different colors. Let's say this part you show to the client when you have some questions. You can change radius of the cloud, style, polygons, arc length, let's say 10. When you check Ctrl 1, it's a polyline. Spline. Why we need a spline? F8. Okay. Just for a second, let's imagine we have some sections and we need to show the ground hatch, which I will show you just in a couple minutes. We have a ground hatch. Sorry, the first we have to make a boundaries. I will explain you in a couple of minutes how to make a hatch. And we want to have a nice curved hatch. This why we need a spline. Let's say from this point, F8, and up to here. Spacebar, finish command, and we trim. Okay. We have a nice hatch. Delete the polyline, delete rectangles. Or the same when we have a side plan, you can use a spline, but I would recommend you using a polyline. Okay, in some cases you need to have ellipse, especially when you're working with custom doors or windows. Most of the time they use an ellipse, or you're using some arcs. It asks you specify the first point and specify another point, f8, and the radius. Now we have ellipse. There is a lot of different formats how to draw the ellipse, which you can discover under the draw, ellipse, center, axis, end. I forgot to mention about the arcs. The same idea, first point, second point, and we have arc. The format of the arcs: 3 points, or the most common, like from the start and center and end. Sometimes you can use with a radius. I prefer to have 3. Let's say we want to make some arc here. And after do all the modifications. The same with ellipse. Okay. In the next video, before I finish, I will show you some hedge. There is 2 different hedge and gradient. Type hedge, or click here. You can hedge only the closed object. Let's say if we have some place which is not closed, or even have some gaps, the AutoCAD will never allow you to hedge that place. It will show you a mistake. What you should do: close the boundaries. Only after that AutoCAD will allow you to hedge. Let's pick some light one. In the hedge, you can click by point or select the object. As you see, we have polylines which allow us to select the object because it's a one object. If you create with the lines, AutoCAD will not allow you to do that. It will pick only the line. In this case, you can use only the pick object, pick point. There is a lot of different hedge. This is a basic one. This is with if you need to show some metals or some for dashed lines, you can do that, especially when you have insulations. This is very useful one. Other hedges like concrete, solid, as you see, one solid hedge. You can change the color of the hedge by selecting the hedge, change the color. let's say concrete. It asks you angle 45 degree, or the easiest way I think would be this one, 45 degree, let's say 10, picked here. As you see, Ctrl 1, we can change the scale, let's say 100. More. Sorry. Okay. Smaller one. Double click. And we can change angle, 45 degree, 35 degree, the same. Or we can change to pick the another hedge. You go here, or type, or sorry, pattern, let's say concrete, because we don't see because it's too big the scale, but when we reduce the scale we can see the hedge. As you see, there is a small blue bottom, a point. It will not allow us to do any modifications. Let's imagine just for a second we have a wall, and in some cases when we do modification with the wall we need to stretch that wall. I think the easiest one would be a solid. Okay, we have a hedge. To do some modification, let's say we want to extrude that wall, yeah? AutoCAD will not allow us to do that. How to modify it? Let's move little bit, like 100, and move back 100. As you see, now we can move and do some modifications. It's very useful tool when you want to make a small changes and you don't want to delete hedge and redo whole stuff. With a gradient, the same idea, you can use with a one color or two colors, and you can change intensity. By clicking different colors. Also angle. Let's say one color and intensity. But based on my experience, I would recommend you to use a solid hedge. The reason why, it's very easy to modify and it's not very heavy for AutoCAD. Solid. Because when you have a huge file and you have a lot of hedge, sometimes it's very heavy for a laptop and take a lot of time for preview and printing. But when you have a solid hedge, it's much easier and faster. You can also match properties, which I will show you in the next video. In this small video, I described the basic tools, how to make a basic floor plans. In the next video, I will show you how to do some modifications like offset, copy, and how to move, rotate, and trim and extend the lines. If you like that video, please press subscribe and I will add new video. If you have some comments, just put them down and I will answer as soon as possible. Okay, bye.